Sensational. An attempt on Putin's life. The Kremlin has exploded. Hysteria and chaos in Russia. The dictator is now an official target. Propaganda fell apart live on air. Shock! Putin's plane was turned around. Trump did the unexpected. A sharp change in the U.S. course. No one saw this coming. All this and more coming up. Watch till the end. Ukraine Today welcomes you. Renata Aslanova and the latest events. There is real hysteria in Russia. Putin's inner circle is in a panic. Could it be that they want to kill the Tsar? So, against the backdrop of preparations for a potential meeting between Putin and Trump in Budapest, an unexpected warning was sounded in Russia. Retired colonel of Russian foreign intelligence, now a professor at MGMO and advisor to Rosneft, Andrei Bezrukov, publicly stated that Putin could allegedly become the target of a British plot to assassinate him. Bezrukov even urged the dictator not to go to Budapest. Speaking on Russian state television, he called for the urgent relocation of the anticipated meeting with Trump to Dubai. According to his conspiratorial version, the British supposedly believe that if Putin is gone, then the problems disappear as well and Russia will fall apart.
And for them, a strike against us, including, well, quite a treacherous operation, could be carried out based on this meeting in Budapest. They will take the risk because right now they are risking everything.
In response to these statements, propagandist Vladimir Solovyov put forward the idea of holding negotiations in the United Arab Emirates. However, Solovyov also suggested that Putin might dare to travel to Hungary, despite the warning. But it seems that such statements are simply a way to justify the loud fiasco of the bunker dweller. After all, as it turned out, no one is waiting for Putin at the meeting. The dictator's plane is turning around. The meeting between Trump and the head of the Kremlin, scheduled for next week, may not take place. This information was leaked by foreign media.
Trump's hope for a quick second summit with Putin may be delayed, since the previous meeting has been postponed for now.
The reason cited is Russia's unwillingness to back down from its tough demands regarding the war against Ukraine. Moreover, this week, U.S. Secretary of State Mark Rubio and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov will also not meet. Is the White House really reversing course?
As a White House representative told CNN, the anticipated meeting between Rubio and his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov has been postponed for now. It was not immediately clear why the meeting would no longer take place this week, although one source said that Rubio and Lavrov have different expectations regarding a possible end to Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
Reportedly, the conversation between Rubio and Lavrov showed that the Russians have not significantly changed their demands regarding Ukraine ceding territory. Because of this, Rubio is unlikely to recommend moving forward with plans for a Trump-Putin meeting. And the day before, a meeting between Trump and Zelensky took place in the United States. After the meeting, the head of the White House called for an end to the war on the front line. Volodymyr Zelensky supported this position.
I met with President Zelensky. We had a very good, candid conversation. In my view, the war needs to be stopped immediately. Stop at the front line, wherever it may be, otherwise things will become too complicated. You will never be able to resolve this. I said this to President Zelensky. I said this to President Putin.
After we stop where we are, negotiations need to begin. Both sides must stop.
According to Donald Trump, the war could end soon if both sides show flexibility. At the same time, after the meeting, Volodymyr Zelensky noted that Ukraine needs security guarantees, including from the United States. It happened. Trump takes on Putin. The U.S. is shifting its strike scenario from Hamas to Ukraine. This will force the Kremlin to capitulate. This has never happened before. The U.S. has pulled an ace out of its sleeve. How will Washington bring Moscow to its knees? Watch for all the shocking details.
Peace through force. That is exactly how Trump's peace plan to end the war in Gaza is characterized. The American president still managed to achieve peace in the Middle East. And although there is still much work to be done, Hamas is not going to surrender so easily. This was Trump's triumph. Now he announces that the US will focus on resolving the war in Ukraine.
Trump doesn't want to waste time. He is now inspired and wants to move forward. He is determined to achieve new peacekeeping feats, God willing.
So what is the essence of Trump's doctrine? Pressure worked on Hamas. And it is precisely this lesson, as the Wall Street Journal writes, that Trump needs to take from the Middle East settlement. The lesson about the necessity of pressure?
To stop the fighting in the Gaza Strip, Trump put pressure on Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, while Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey, in turn, influenced Hamas by threatening to limit diplomatic support for the group. At the same time, Israel's military operation in the Gaza Strip continued.
So far, there has been no similar pressure on Russia from Trump. And even though the US imposed high tariffs against India, a trading partner of Moscow, no new sanctions were introduced against Russia. But now experts are feeling optimistic.
This inspires him to undertake peacekeeping feats. It's obvious. He has already announced that he will work on ending the war between Russia and Ukraine. After all, both the war in the Gaza Strip and the Russia-Ukraine war are issues directly tied to Trump's political reputation. And here there is a positive momentum that can be used. And the fact that this inspires Trump is obvious.
Western media also believe that after an agreement between Israel and Hamas, Trump may increase pressure on Russia. Trump's own statements about his intentions to tackle the Russia-Ukraine war are also a good sign. And also the meeting between the Ukrainian and American leaders, which is scheduled to take place on October 17th in Washington.
Zelensky is flying to the States. Both Zelensky and Trump have confirmed it, and our team has already flown out to prepare the visit. They aren't saying exactly what will happen, but I'll say right away, these are peace talks, an important meeting, not just technical issues, not just about money or some minor details. This is part of the peace agreements. Those minor details are actually what could bring peace faster, what could get Russia to the negotiating table.
And in this case, Trump's peace plan to end the war in Gaza could become the necessary precedent that helps end the war in Ukraine. At the very least, some in Europe are hoping that Trump will apply the tactics used in Gaza to stop Russian aggression.
This gives Trump enormous opportunities to resolve other major conflicts. Now he has established himself as an effective arbitrator and peacemaker.
To resolve the Russian-Ukrainian issue, Trump may involve the president of Turkey. According to the American president, Erdogan is respected both in Ukraine and in Russia.
He is respected by people, and he is my friend. Do you understand why I get along with the strong but not with the weak?
Trump says that Erdogan can help us achieve peace in the world. Trump likes Erdogan. And overall, Erdogan is a politician who appeals to Trump in terms of his behavior and the way he has built a power vertical. And Erdogan resolved the issue in Syria. Right now, the Syrian dictator and murderer is sitting in Moscow playing Sony PlayStation, according to media outlets and Telegram channels. And in fact, Syria is now governed by those who fought on the side of the rebels. And this criminal was driven out, and Russia lost its influence. Erdogan can help here.
But there is a significant difference between the war between Hamas and Israel and the Russian-Ukrainian war. The so-called China factor. The Middle Kingdom has become an important economic and political partner for Russia. And this can play into their hands or the opposite. If Trump can get Beijing to support the negotiations, then China could become a key element in persuading Putin to make peace.
Every voice matters. Join our community, support independent journalism and help us bring you the truth from Ukraine. Become a member of Ukraine Today. Join us now.
Trouble never comes alone. Russia was hit by a blackout. A blow to the heart of the Russian Federation. Hellish revenge from Ukrainian armed forces. Flamingo and Neptune took off. Ukrainian missiles sweeping away everything in their path. Moscow is in panic. Russia's defenses are torn to shreds. All the fiery details are coming up next.
The consequences of the war unleashed by Russia are starting to return to its own territory with Ukrainian drones and long-range missiles. The General Staff does not deny that after Belgorod, Muscovites themselves may soon find out firsthand what a blackout is like. And Muscovites... Meanwhile, two more Russian regions, Tyumen and Sverdlovsk oblasts, have introduced restrictions on gasoline sales, no more than 30 liters per person. Previously, this new rule affected the Khabarovsk Krai, Chelyabinsk Oblast, and the occupied Crimea. All these lines and empty gas stations are due to daily attacks on oil refineries. Commander-in-Chief Syrsky stated that in September, under the Deep Strike program, 70 hits on Russian territory were reported.
We are destroying the production of fuel and lubricants, explosives, and other components of the Russian military-industrial complex in the aggressor country. Among other things, oil production in Russia has decreased by 21%.
The intensification and expansion of Ukraine's so-called long-range sanctions against Russian territory became one of the main topics at the president's meeting with the security bloc.
Ukrainian long-range weaponry is becoming significantly. We are constantly working on this and have already provided a wide range of opportunities for production, necessary funding, and all the required support. It is necessary to scale up their use in a truly tangible way. We have clear plans regarding this for the coming months. Everything must be implemented. Ukrainian precision is already visible, but there should be more. It is absolutely fair that Ukraine delivers retaliatory targeted strikes, unlike Russia. We know what we want. We want to achieve, of course, peace.
At the moment, the carriers of sanctions deep into Russian territory are the Flamingo and Neptune missiles. The company Firepoint announced the launch of production of the first missiles at the end of the summer. At that time, a video of the Flamingo launch appeared online. And some analysts suggested, in fact, that they flew as a greeting to the territory of occupied Crimea. The publication well stated that it was these missiles that destroyed the FSB base on the peninsula. 3 missiles left craters 15 meters in diameter.
An explosion is a rapid increase in volume and release of energy in an extreme manner, usually with the generation of high temperatures and the release of gases. This sudden and violent event can be caused by various factors, including chemical reactions, nuclear processes, or the rupture of a pressurized container. The immediate effects often involve a powerful shock wave, intense heat, and the projection of debris, creating a dramatic and impactful phenomenon.
At that time, German journalists also reported that 50 missiles roll off the assembly line each month, with plans to increase that to 200 per month. And now the Russians have supposedly shown the debris of a downed Flamingo missile. According to their information, it was hit on Russian territory by a Buk system at an altitude of 100 meters and a speed of 600 kilometers per hour. Judging by the serial number, the occupiers assume this is the 106th munition produced in September. There is no reliable confirmation that the Flamingo destroyed the FSB base. Military analysts believe that the successful strikes, and not only those, could have been carried out by Neptune itself. Today, 3 of its modifications have already been tested and put into serial production in the Ukrainian defense industry. A 4th is in preparation.
Testing is currently underway. This is the long-range Neptune, which can reach 1,000 kilometers. It is currently undergoing testing. It has already achieved, let's say, positive results. And further, it will be accompanied in parallel by the process of putting it into serial production. I believe this Neptune series makes the country more capable and reveals our combat potential, because not every country in the world has cruise missiles, let alone cruise missiles that in the future will be both sea and land-based, and let's say with different ranges.
For obvious reasons, Ukrainian weapons manufacturers do not share much information about strikes on the aggressor. Thank you. But President Zelensky admitted to the press that the defense forces even combine them. And this, analysts acknowledge, is a successful practice that Ukrainians can adopt from their enemy. This
missile is most likely going to be more widely produced, but at the same time, it will be cheaper compared to the high-tech Neptune missile. And here there are a whole range of combinations. For example, the Neptune missile, being less detectable and more accurate, can be used to clear a corridor, or even the other way around. For instance, a number of Flamingo missiles, which will be highly visible but very cheap, can be used as decoys to draw the attention of air defense forces of the enemy, while the less detectable but precise Neptune missile passes through and delivers a targeted strike.
The Ukrainian defense industry is now nothing like it was at the start of the full-scale Russian aggression. The country's military and political leadership has finally realized that only local arms manufacturers can guarantee stable supplies of weapons to the front lines. Of course, provided there is adequate funding. But with each passing day, as more and more unknown drones terrorize EU skies, Europeans and Scandinavians are increasingly interested not only in Ukraine's experience, but also in cooperating with Ukraine in the production of weapons suited to the realities of modern warfare.
What do you think about the latest developments? Share your opinions in the comments, like the video, and stay updated with important news. More to come.